Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are at fasting day 2. My name is Katie, and please be sure to reach out to us at the office if you have any questions, either myself or Whitney. But today we're going to talk about fasting day 2, what you should have in your box, and more importantly, the L drink, the addition of the L drink, and how to do it, when to do it, all the information regarding that. So let's get started. Okay, so yesterday was day 1. We had 1,100 calories approximately. Today is definitely a deficit in calories, so you're going to go down to 750. Today we're going to be shifting more into ketosis. We might have some keto flu. We can get into that later and how ways to combat it, ways to address it, and then again, the L drink. Okay, let's talk about the journey ahead. Yesterday, we entered into the fasting state. Today, day 2, we're doing fat burning and the ketogenic process. This is going to be for everyone that's going from day 1 to day 2. You're going to start to notice the decrease in calories. You're going to notice the difference in your box is going to be a much less amount of food. So if you look on day 2, it's L drink, it's herbal nut bars, the herbal teas, same as before. The Prolon soup, the NR1 packets, which is only 1. Today you do not have the alga oil at all. So make sure, stay within the box. We'll be good to go when it comes to that. Okay, the L drink. The reason that we use the L drink, it's a glycerol-based drink. It helps keep our glucose regulated. It helps with muscle protection. It helps with hydration. Remember, today is a much decreased calorie intake. So you may start to have some symptoms. If you use the L drink properly and throughout the week, it's going to help you maintain that homeostasis that you're used to with the calorie intake. All right, how to measure. This is there's on the back of your card, it gives you multiple instructions, very detailed instructions. So on the back, there's weights. You're going to go to whatever your weight is. Say it's 160, 180. You're going to mark it there, and you're going to pour to that weight. The rest of the bottle, this is very important, the rest of the bottle is being thrown away. Every day you get a new bottle, it is perishable, the bottle, once you open it, so you're not going to ever use it again, the bottle. Each day, each box gets its own new bottle for the day. The L drink, you can make the hibiscus tea that also comes with it. You can put it in water, whichever you prefer, but you want to get a container at least 26 to 32 ounces because you're going to drink about 32 ounces, and this L drink is being poured into that water or that tea, whichever you would prefer. This is going to be drunk throughout the day, not all at once. You want to sip on it, and it's going to keep you level throughout the day. This is going to be on day 2 through day 5. Every day you're going to do the same thing. You find your weight, you mark it, you pour to that amount. You pour out once you get to that amount, you throw away the bottle. You're done for the day. Start fresh with a new bottle tomorrow. Okay, ketosis. We talked about yesterday, and we talked about fasting versus ketosis. All of us are going to come in and out of a ketosis state during these 5 days. We may not stay in it. Metabolic flexibility is different for everyone, but the body's goal is homeostasis to stay the same. So when we're removing calories, we're removing carbohydrates, our body's going to use glucose, and it's going to use those storage like we talked about, the glycogen storage. So we start to burn ketones, which is a better form of fuel. Ketosis and Prolon. Ketosis is not a complete indication of fasting. Like we had said yesterday, you may be fasting for the 5 days, the fast mimicking. You may come in and out of ketosis. You may not stay in ketosis, which is perfectly fine. It is doing what it's supposed to do as long as you stay within the box and stay within the program. While Prolon is keto friendly, it's not a ketogenic diet. Those are completely different situations. There will be carbohydrates in this diet. Obviously, it's a much less amount, but there are going to be carbohydrates, which makes it not a ketogenic diet. Okay, weight loss. We all know that, weight loss is a great side effect and benefit of Prolon, but that's not the main component. So weight loss is as they say, a cherry on the top of the longevity and metabolic benefits. The average weight loss, 5.7 pounds, that is with 3 cycles. And remember, 3 cycles is 5 days each month for 3 consecutive months. Everyone's different. Everyone's going to lose a different amount. But in order to lose that amount and sustain the results, you must do 3 consecutive cycles. With that said, you may lose a pound or 2 with this cycle. That's great. Just as long as you keep up your healthy diet afterwards and move on, you may sustain that weight loss. But in order to get the most benefits, they recommend the 3 consecutive cycles. We're not using continuous glucose monitors. Some other programs we do offer that, but with this program, we're not offering the continuous glucose monitors. Keto flu, we talked about it in the beginning. This is basically where our body is revolting and we're transitioning ketones, and it tends to make some people ill. Headaches, nausea, muscle aches, lightheadedness. It almost feels like you might have a little flu going on. There's a lot of ways to combat this, and there's a lot of ways to prevent this also. The best way to prevent it is hydrate. Second is movement, whether it be brain, body, whichever. Read a book, get out and take a walk. The more active you are and the more mentally active you are, you won't pay attention as much to each symptoms. The warm Epsom salt baths, this is fine as long as you make sure it's not excessively hot or excessively cold. You want it to be warm, not hot. And then if need be, at the very end, if you're still having symptoms, you want to do over-the-counter Tylenol, Advil, Aleve. That is fine as long as it's okay by your healthcare professional for your specific case. Okay, tomorrow. Today we're fat burning, we're doing ketogenesis, we're moving on to what to expect tomorrow. The autophagy, that's where our cells are starting to clean up, they're starting to rebuild, they're starting to get into the system where we're going to start to clean out the good, bad stuff and start in day 4 and day 5, renewal and cellular rejuvenation. So let's talk about your box for today, okay? Because it's a little different. Day 2, L-based nut bar, the same like you have been having, okay? Herbal teas, we talked about that. For lunch, Prolon soup. A little quick tip that I don't know if I gave you yesterday, the soups. You can use hot water from your Keurig, hot water from a tea kettle, mix up the soups. If you have a handheld blender whisk that you use for coffees or anything like that, that's an easy way to get all the bits nice and mixed up, and you don't have those bits when you're trying to eat the soup. It's also sometimes a little easier to let it sit for a few minutes, let it soak, and then use the handheld whisk. You don't necessarily have to cook these on the stove. You don't need to do, they give you multiple options. But most of us, when we do it, we use hot water out of a Keurig or hot water out of a tea kettle and mix it that way. And you can use multiple different options, blender, whichever you prefer. Just please don't blend it if it's hot. That will explode and it's not the best idea. Okay, the NR1 packets, we talked about these. Remember, there's only one with lunch today. And then today, for everyone who loves it, great. You get 2 olives. For everyone who doesn't, remember we talked about it. Olive oil in your soup, and means you remove the olives. You do not get those if you use the olive oil. But if you're a person that is not a fan of olives, that's an option for you. You do get the Prolon soup for dinner and the Choco Crisp bar. So for today, it's definitely a minimal amount of food, and each day it changes. So tomorrow, you're always going to do the L drink, starting from today, day 2, all the way until day 5. And then each day, the amounts are going to change. Day 1's over. You guys have day 2 now. It's going to change each day, but each day, you might have different symptoms. You might not have any symptoms. Please reach out to us if you have any questions regarding the kits, or if you're emailing about individual health concerns, please do not use our email. Please call the office and ask for myself or Whitney. If it's regarding your kits and it's a generic question, you please feel free to email us. And then if you're just looking for some daily support, daily interaction, again, the Fast Nation on Facebook is a great tool to use. I look forward to seeing everybody for day 3, and we will talk later. Bye-bye.